For months now, the Trump administration has been striking suspected drug traffickers in the Caribbean and the Pacific, killing more than 100 people. It's deployed thousands of warships to the Caribbean, seized oil tankers off Venezuela's shores, and according to President Donald Trump, struck a docking area there for alleged drug boats. The move could amount to the first land strike of the US's military campaign.
We are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control.
President Nicolas Maduro has ruled Venezuela with an iron fist for over a decade, brutally repressing anyone who crosses him. Caracas argues that Washington is seeking to topple Maduro in order to seize Venezuelan oil reserves, which are the largest in the world.
Decimos no al intervencionismo. No a los planes de desestabilización de cambio de régimen.
So why is the US threatening Venezuela, and what's its endgame?
Said, look, he's done tremendous damage to our country, primarily because of drugs.
Washington accuses Maduro of running a drug trafficking syndicate, the alleged Cartel of the Suns. The US has designated it a foreign terrorist organization and issued a $50 million reward for Maduro's capture.
Soy más famoso que Taylor Swift en Estados Unidos ahorita.
Caracas says the cartel doesn't exist. The drugs the US is most concerned by are fentanyl and cocaine. The country's State Department found that in 2024, Mexico was the US's only significant source of illicit fentanyl. And the majority of cocaine that reaches the US comes from Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia through the Pacific, not through Venezuela. Washington maintains that its military action in the Caribbean is to tackle drug trafficking, but another motive is increasingly clear. Trump himself has said it would be smart for Maduro to step down. But why might Washington want his presidency to fall? A self-declared Marxist, Maduro fashions himself as a worker president. He was chosen for office by Hugo Chavez, who died in 2013. Venezuela's late president was a role model for other leftist leaders and financed many of them, including Cuba's Fidel Castro. Washington has historically intervened in Latin America through coups and other means to replace left-wing leaders with ones it favors. Trump's current national security strategy speaks of asserting dominance in Latin America, a region where China has growing influence. It talks about reviving the two-century-old Monroe Doctrine, in which the US declared Latin America off-limits to foreign powers. China has strongly condemned the US military operation around Venezuela, but so far said little more than that. Maduro thinks the US wants to remove him from power to seize Venezuela's oil reserves.
Toda una falsedad que solo busca agredir a Venezuela y asegurarse las inmensas reservas energéticas de nuestro país.
Venezuelan oil is sanctioned by the US and other international actors to put pressure on Maduro, who many deem an illegitimate president. Venezuela's been sidestepping these sanctions, selling crude on the black market, mainly to China. Trump's recently announced a total blockade of oil tankers heading to and leaving the South American country. The US has seized 2 so far. The move threatens to cripple Venezuela's economy.
Venezuela, y nosotros salimos a repudiar al pirata mayor del Caribe, que ahora se roba el petróleo de los venezolanos porque es nuestro.
Trump accuses Venezuela of using oil to finance narco-terrorism. He's also said the US armada in the Caribbean will only get bigger until Venezuela returns to the US all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from them. In the 1970s, Venezuela nationalized its oil industry, gaining control of oil fields previously run by American companies. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who'd been in hiding, reappeared in Oslo after almost a year following her Nobel Peace Prize win. She said it was the US who helped her get to Norway. Machado advocates for Venezuela's transition to a capitalist economy and has talked about privatizing the state-owned oil company. 7 million Venezuelans, a quarter of the population, have left the country since Maduro took office. Pushed to leave by the deep economic crisis and brutal political repression, many are not against the prospect of his government falling.
No creo que hayan bombardeos o ataques militares. En tal caso va a ser directamente a la casa a Miraflores, va a ser en busca de Maduro, va a ser con objetivos muy puntuales. No va a haber asesinatos ni daños colaterales por los que uno se pueda estar preocupando.
Maduro still enjoys backing from some sectors of the population, but it's difficult to know how widespread or genuine that support really is.
Estamos prestos a dialogar con quien se tenga que dialogar, pero nunca claudicar por la soberanía de nuestro país, nunca vender la patria.
So what could happen next? Civilians in the capital, Caracas, have been given weapons training, and thousands have joined a civilian militia. Venezuela's army also says it's recruited thousands of new soldiers.
Cualquier momento estamos todos dispuestos a salir a la defensa de la patria. El imperialismo norteamericano está pensando que va a venir, bueno, puede ser que de repente no van a entrar, pero si entran, no van a salir. No van a salir porque estamos todos presos y dispuestos a dar la vida.
Es una experiencia, pero bueno, tenerlo en las manos te da ese orgullo de que, bueno, de que a la hora de tener que tomar las armas hay que hacerlo.
The International Institute for Strategic Studies estimates that Venezuela's armed forces, combined with its volunteer militia, stand at almost 350,000 members. It would be no match for the 2 million-strong US military. But few think Trump has the appetite for a full-scale military invasion of Venezuela. Although Maduro is in a weaker position than he was during Trump's first term, a takeover of the country the size of Texas would be a daunting task and enjoy little support among the US population. Higher-risk strategies could include directly striking the Venezuelan government or its military sites.